Recap. Alchemy Emperor of the Divine Dao, Chapter 1069, Chapter Rebbe. Beneath the vast expanse of the joint peace planet, a tempest of divine power had settled over the sacrificial altar, trembling with the echoes of past bloodshed. Ling Han's heart skipped a beat as his eyes fell upon the figure descending from the heavens. The Eternity Sky Emperor, one of the planet's three supreme overlords, radiating a majesty that silenced even the fiercest of storms. Yet shock rooted him in place. One of the Emperor's arms had been cleaved away, a testament to the terrifying might of the legendary Nine Demons' sword. This was no ordinary blade. Forged through the ancestral bloodline of the Chang clan, it was a god tool, an instrument of ultimate cultivation power. Even one of the planet's most formidable warriors had suffered grievous injury to claim it. Ling Han's pulse quickened as he realized the sword's terrifying potential. Should the Emperor seize it fully, could even Empress Luan Xing resist his might? A surge of protective fury coursed through Ling Han. This was no mere concern for power. It was a primal, possessive unrest that any man touched by the Empress's radiant presence might feel. A thunderous laugh erupted from above, shaking the air and scattering the lingering brilliance. The Eternity Sky Emperor's figure shimmered, and there, clenched firmly in his remaining hand, was the Nine Demons' sword. The blade, though fractured, pulsed with an energy that seemed capable of slicing through the very fabric of the soul. Ling Han felt it even from within the secluded Black Tower, the aura cutting deep into his spirit, a reminder that the blade's mastery had demanded a sacrifice. An arm, a fraction of the Emperor's own flesh, now lost to the annals of power. By its nature, the Nine Demons' sword was of the Eternal River tier, a level 13 god tool. Ling Han's mind raced. Even in its broken state, the sword was catastrophic, and with 3 segments still hidden, the full weapon's devastation was a terrifying prospect, capable of reshaping battlefields and bending destinies to its wielder's will. Beside the Emperor, the Nine Flames' heavenly king leaped, concern etched across his visage. "Imperial brother, are you unharmed?" His voice carried the weight of loyalty, yet even his vigilance could not mask the awe in his tone. The suffocating aura of slaughter that had choked the field began to wane, as the divine blade's seizure dissipated the gathering miasma of death. The Emperor's response was casual, almost dismissive. "A mere lost arm. Half a year's rest and it will mend. The sword requires refinement. Once complete, obtaining the remaining segments will be far simpler." With that, he turned, tearing through the void with a grace born of millennia, leaving a trail of unyielding authority. The Heavenly King's eyes flickered with calculated ferocity, scanning for threats, and lingering just long enough on Ling Han's hidden form. Though he could not discern the junior's presence, his intent to crush any interference remained palpable. Yet duty called, and the search was abandoned. The Emperor's new prowess rendered the rest almost trivial. At last, Ling Han emerged from the Black Tower, cautious yet unbound by immediate danger. He moved with deliberate swiftness, leaving the small dog behind and summoning his cloud-piercing shuttle, cutting through the skies toward the Eastern Rain Nation's encampment. With the sword's aura no longer a blockade, his passage was unhindered, and within hours he hovered above the furious river, a churning scar upon the earth, carved by forces of immense cultivation. Rumors had not exaggerated. The river bore witness to the extraordinary, whether the work of a Chang clan ancestor or a rogue extraplanetary elite. No sooner had he landed than soldiers surged forward, blades raised and eyes alight with suspicion. Ling Han's voice rang clear, resonant with authority. "I am Ling Han, a disciple of the Scarlet Heaven Academy." The soldiers hesitated, uneasy, and scurried to summon verification from the academy itself. Then came Zhao Lun, his expression a storm of disbelief and suppressed anger. Defeat had battered his pride in a failed assault against the Golden Lion Nation, yet now standing before him unscathed was Ling Han, a figure whose very presence defied expectation. "How did you return alive?" he demanded, suspicion sharpening his tone into accusation. "You must have betrayed us, surrendered to the enemy, and been released as a spy." The camp stirred with tension. The word traitor, casting a shadow heavier than any blade. Ling Han met the charge with calm dignity, a faint smile curving his lips. "Herr Zhao, do I appear as one who betrays? Evidence must precede accusation, lest your claims become defamation." Zhao Lun's gaze burned, lips tightening in controlled fury. "I shall find the proof." With a forceful sweep of his robe, he departed, leaving a trail of righteous indignation behind. Ling Han shook his head slightly, privately acknowledging Zhao Lun's obstinate nature, then pressed onward, seeking the Ninth King. The matter of the Nine Demons' sword was urgent. Intelligence of its seizure must reach the highest authority swiftly, lest the Eternity Sky Emperor claim dominion unchallenged. Through the encampment surged Shui Yanyu, tears slipping freely at the sight of him. Her relief was tangible, the tension of days spent waiting now washing away like rain. The assault squad had been decimated, hope all but extinguished, save for Ling Han, whose timely return rekindled the flickering light of courage among the weary. In that moment, amidst the murmurs of soldiers and the distant echo of a world reshaped by divine arms, Ling Han's presence became the pivot around which destiny now turned. And the saga of the Nine Demons' sword surged ever onward. Ling Han's gaze softened as he drew Shui Yanyu close, a faint warmth stirring in his chest. "Do not fear," he murmured gently, his voice carrying the confidence of countless victories. "Have you forgotten the many trump cards I still hold?" Shui Yanyu offered no words, only leaning into his embrace, her head resting lightly against his chest. In that simple act, Ling Han sensed the depth of her concern, the loyalty and care of a warrior unshaken even amidst chaos. Yet the drumbeat of destiny would not allow them this tender moment for long. "We must first seek the Ninth King. I have unearthed a secret that could shake the heavens," Ling Han said with gravity in his tone. Swiftly, they approached Hu Feiyun, whose eyes sparkled with relief upon seeing him. "Zhao Lun actually conscripted you into the assault squad. I have worried endlessly. Thankfully, you have returned unharmed." Ling Han inclined his head, respect and urgency entwining in his smile. "Your concern is appreciated, Ninth King, yet my discovery within the enemy ranks compels me to return at once to the imperial capital. The Empress must know." Hu Feiyun's eyes widened in astonishment. "Is it truly so dire?" she asked, the weight of responsibility settling on her shoulders. Ling Han nodded solemnly. "It is of utmost importance." After a pause, the Ninth King's characteristic decisiveness surfaced. She handed command of the army to Zhao Lun without hesitation, her usual indolence granting Ling Han a path forward. Zhao Lun's protests were drowned beneath the authority of royal will. No mortal could restrain a Ninth King's command. Ling Han, Shui Yanyu and Hu Feiyun boarded the cloud-piercing shuttle, its engines humming like a caged tempest. What had taken 2 months of grueling march now spanned only days. The shuttle was a streak of silver lightning cutting through the sky. They arrived at the capital of the chaotic star's majestic empire, landing with caution outside the city gates. In the imperial capital, no flying treasure dared challenge the sanctity of the airspace, lest it face immediate annihilation. Hu Feiyun guided them through the guards, who promptly reported their arrival. Hours of patient waiting finally yielded an invitation into the presence of Empress Luanxing. They entered a side palace, where the aura of imperial majesty pressed down like a tangible weight. Hu Feiyun's joy erupted at the sight of her sister. "Big sister, I have missed you so." Empress Luanxing remained seated upon her elevated throne, a figure wrapped in quiet, commanding power. Her features were veiled in an ethereal mist, yet her figure radiated a grace and authority that needed no unveiling. Ling Han knelt, a singular gesture of reverence. "Ling Han pays respects, your imperial majesty." Shui Yanyu had wisely remained behind, her concern more for the chaos of the front lines than the intrigues of the palace. The Empress's gaze fell upon Ling Han like a mountain, unyielding and cold. Even Hu Feiyun dared not intervene. "You are part of the army. Why did you urge the Ninth King to return?" Empress Luanxing's voice was sharp, a blade of displeasure tempered with regal command. Ling Han recognized the true source of her ire, his influence over Hu Feiyun, not the army's movements. "Your Majesty, I have uncovered a matter of great urgency that cannot await formalities. Yet my status is insufficient to petition directly, so I sought the Ninth King's aid." The Empress's scrutiny shifted, curiosity piqued. Ling Han's words flowed like a river, recounting the ambush by the Eternity Sky Majestic Empire, the harrowing skirmishes, and the ascension of the Eternity Sky Emperor to possession of the Nine Demons' sword. Each detail was precise, unbroken by hesitation. Hu Feiyan's complexion paled as she shook the arm of the Empress. "Big sister, what shall we do?" she cried. Empress Luanxing remained composed, her mind tracing the tangled history of empires. Long ago, an imperial empire ruled this realm, governed by the Chang clan's ancient lineage. Its fall birthed the Jade Drop Imperial Empire. Yet calamities befell the Jade Drop, weakening their line, paving the path for the rebirth of the Chang clan as the Eternity Sky Majestic Empire, their enmity enduring through the ages. Ling Han's mind raced, piecing the history together. Both adversary empires had cultivated supreme eternal river-tier masters, while the chaotic star's majestic empire was but fledgling, barely 1,000,000 years old, a mere breath in the expanse of the immortal realm. The bitter legacy of 100,000,000-year histories whispered from the shadows. Empress Luanxing's resolve crystallized like tempered steel. "I shall lead a military expedition personally." Hu Feiyan hesitated. "But the Eternity Sky Emperor wields the Nine Demons' sword. Perhaps we should ally with the Jade Drop Emperor?" The Empress shook her head, unshaken. Her confidence drew from the Absolute Beginning Stone, a palm-sized artifact of unparalleled defense, capable of absorbing even the might of the Nine Demons' sword. With it, victory was all but assured. Ling Han understood her glance. She knew he had discerned the source of her unwavering confidence. He bowed silently, respect and caution intertwining on his features. Without pause, Empress Luanxing stepped into the sky, a streak of divine purpose ascending beyond the clouds, leaving only the faint glimmer of her presence in the horizon. Decisions made, the wheels of war moved with merciless swiftness. Ling Han and Hu Feiyan followed, careful to avoid the city's sacred airspace until they could reclaim the cloud-piercing shuttle and accelerate toward the Eastern Rain Nation. By the time they arrived, the Golden Lion Nation had retreated, leaving soldiers to speculate the reason behind their sudden withdrawal. Few could guess the truth, that the Empress, empowered by the Absolute Beginning Stone, had already clashed with the Eternity Sky Emperor, and the battlefield had been decisively tipped. Ling Han's heart swelled with admiration. The Absolute Beginning Stone, so small yet so formidable, had turned the tide, ensuring victory against a foe wielding a god-tier weapon. Though no witness could confirm the outcome, the balance of power had irrevocably shifted. The Nine Demons' sword, though powerful, remained beyond the Empress's ability to refine. Yet with the Absolute Beginning Stone she had secured the upper hand. In the silence of the aftermath, the Empress's presence lingered like a storm yet to pass, a testament to the indomitable spirit and decisive mastery that defined the legends of the immortal realm.